Welcome to another video. This is part 2 of virtual environments. I created 2 videos. The first video we talked about just what virtual environments are, why they're useful, and it's a very good video, so make sure you watch it. And in this video, we're actually going to go ahead and use the virtual environments. These videos, I originally created them for my course. I have a course for Python for beginners and Selenium WebDriver for beginners. My job is helping people learn automation, learn QA, and get a career in IT. That's what I do. My website is supersqa.com. Check it out, and if you haven't done so already, please do like this video and subscribe to this channel because all I do is QA automation. You'll get a lot of useful information from me. All right, so enjoy the video and let me know if you have any concerns or questions. If anything is unclear, if I need to clarify something, please put down some comments. Thank you. Enjoy. Welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to see a demo of using virtual environments. In the previous video, we just saw what virtual environments are and what are they used for. And we just had a discussion using PowerPoint slides. And here we're actually going to get our hands dirty and actually use them and see them in action. Okay. So I am on my Mac. I'm going to switch between Mac and Windows, and I'm going to show you on both. All right. So let's see my Python version. So I'm going to do my default Python 3 - V. I have 3.11. If I do which -a Python 3 pyth on Python 3. As you can see, I have several of them, but I'm just going to stick with the default one. If I want to create a virtual environment based on Python 3.10, then I would have to run that one. Okay, so I'm going to go cd documents, and I have a folder prepared called demo.vnv. Okay, so in this case, I just have 2 different Python files. We're going to see how we're going to use them, and you can also see it here. I have demo.vnv. There's nothing in there, so I'm going to create a virtual environment. So all I have to do is Python 3 -m for module. Every time you want to run a module with a specific version of Python, you just do -m. You can do -m pip, right? Instead of doing pip install something, it's better to do Python 3 -m pip install something. That way you know exactly which pip you're using for this version of your Python, because like you just saw, I have multiple Pythons available, and when I just say pip install, I don't know which. Well, technically it's supposed to install it to the default one, but I've seen this weird scenarios where it's going to install for a different version of Python depending on how everything is set up. But if you do it this way, you guaranteed you're installing it under this guy for sure. Okay, so it's a good idea to use -m pytest, -m pip, -m vnv. So we're going to do vnv. That's the module we're going to run, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to say my vnv. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. It's going to do its thing, and it's pretty much creating a folder. If I do ls, I see it created there. If I come here, I see the folder created there, and inside of it there are several things. If I look at bin, Python is in there. Okay, and there is all this activation scripts are in here. Same thing in Windows. I have cmd and I have PowerShell. So I'm going to do in cmd, and I'm going to do it on my home ls dir. So you can see the folders. There is no folder called my vnv, so I'm going to create it right now. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Python 3 is not here. Python -v. You can tell it is Python 3. By the way, this command -mvnv is only available in Python 3. Python 2 does not support that. Okay, so I'm going to do Python -mvnv. That is a command. Now I'm going to give it the name of my virtual environment. It can be like some kind of project. I'm going to say my web app vnv, right? This is just any name, and it's going to create a folder called my web app venv. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's doing a bunch of things inside. If I do dir, you're going to see that folder created here. Okay, now how do we activate it? And the way we activate it is we have to, on a Mac or Linux, we have to source this activate file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say source my venv bin activate. right? Now my virtual environment is activated. As you can see, it shows up here as my virtual environment is being activated. If I run any Python command, it's going to use that version of Python command. So for example, if I say which Python, is going to tell me which Python is going to use. It is this guy. It is the guy that's inside my virtual environment. If I was outside, so if I let me do horizontally. Here, I'm outside of the virtual environment, right? You can see I'm outside. If I do which Python 3, and it's going to show me which Python 3 is going to use. This is my main Python 3. Here, instead of Python, I can do Python 3 to just, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to show me it's using inside of my virtual environment. So now if I install something here, I'm going to do pip install Selenium. It's going to install the latest version of Selenium. So if I do pip list, I can do pip list or pip freeze. Pip freeze is probably better. Pip list will show you everything, and pip freeze will show you everything installed by pip, as far as I understand. So as you can see, install Selenium 4.8.3. Let's create another virtual environment. In fact, I'm going to create another virtual environment. I'm going to go here, documents, and demo VNV. Right? I'm going to create another one. I'm going to say Python 3-m venv. I'm going to say my venv2. It's going to create that one, and I'm going to activate it. I'm going to say source my venv2 bin activate. Now here I can install another version of Selenium. Pip install Selenium 3.3.3.1. I don't know if that even exists. Install, I have a typo, and it does exist, I guess. So I can do pip freeze. So now I have Selenium 3.3 installed on this virtual environment, so I can play with it. I can try with it. Like, let's say Selenium 5 comes out and I don't want to ruin my environment. I want to just try it out. Then I can create a separate virtual environment and install it in there. So this guy has Selenium 4 and this guy has Selenium 3, and you can create as much as you want. And just to show you, those are just folders. One folder got created, another folder got created every time you create it. The main thing to remember is the command is going to be Python 3-m venv and the name of the virtual environment you want. Now to deactivate it, all you have to do is type deactivate, hit enter, and now you're out. This thing disappears, right? If you do which Python, that's going to be your main Python. So right now, in this window, if I do which Python, it's using the Python that's inside of this directory, like inside of my virtual environment. I type in deactivate. Now it's deactivated. If I type which Python, it's using my main, Python 3. Oops, I should have said Python because I have Python. On my system, Python goes to Python 2 by default. I have to do Python 3. And when I do which Python 3, it shows me outside my virtual environment, not inside, okay? On Windows, very similar. So if I want to activate it, I'm just going to type in this my web app. I don't have to do any other command. Just type it in slash, because Windows is this slash script activate.bat. All I have to do is run this, and now as you can see, my virtual environment is activated, and I can do where Python, and it's going to show me all the Pythons, but the first one that's going to show up is my virtual environment one. So if I run a command saying Python and hello world.py, is going to use the virtual environment. On PowerShell, the same thing, but I'm going to run the other script, so it's easier to show you here. So if we go to, when you look at, actually this doesn't show you, but even in bin on a Mac, it shows you it created these folders. So there's activate.py, it's PowerShell, the uppercase A, and the bat is not actually here. But if I was to show you, if I go to CD, my web app and scripts and do dir, yeah, I can see all the scripts that were created. Activate.bat is what we run for CMD, activate.ps1 with uppercase A is what we need to run for PowerShell. So we're just going to do my web app scripts activate. No, that's not the one. This one here. Hit enter, and in PowerShell it gives you an error, and I'll put it on the screen. I'll put in the screen the command you want to run, and also a link to Stack Overflow to solve this problem. There is a command you run to fix this issue. Okay, more information cannot be loaded. Yeah, there is some kind of error in PowerShell, but that's why I say PowerShell is more advanced. So I advise people to use CMD. So we saw how we activate the virtual environment. To deactivate is deactivate, and it's deactivated. To activate it, we just run the activate.bat. It's activated. You can see it, and we type in deactivate to deactivate it. That's pretty much it. You activate it, you deactivate it. You activate it, you deactivate it. So when you activate it, and whatever Python commands you run, they happen in that environment. Whatever you install, it happens in that environment, and it's not going to corrupt everything else. When you want to get rid of it, all you have to do is delete the folder that was created. Every time you create a virtual environment, it creates a new folder. Those are the key things to remember. And when you get stuck like this type of topic, I just went through the whole explanation and you're not clear, you go on YouTube and watch somebody else explain it, right? You're going to get a different perspective. You're going to get a different way of explanation. So you're going to get it eventually. And I really advise you for that. And you don't need it for now, but eventually when you get to Selenium section and stuff, you will need it. So you will have to learn it then. But for now, if you have a hard time here, do not let it block you. Do not let it slow you down. Just keep going, okay? Just keep going with the course. All right, let's keep going.